Hello, this is Skip. Wanted to take a little time and talk about one of my favorite subjects. I'm going up now just to make sure. There it is. Uh, I noticed on my screen there's a delay, so I have to kind of get used to the fact that what I see is different timing than what you're seeing. The new system that I'm working with, and kind of having some fun with it. And this is my first live broadcast with this system. But I can do some things with this I couldn't do before, so it's kind of fun. Anyway, I am doing a little thing on $1 million system blueprint. And whether it's $1 million or $1, it really depends on the individual using it and how much you're prepared for it. The reality is most people are not prepared for what they're getting into when they get into online marketing, thinking that if you run a few ads, post them out there, and pretty soon people are going to come running and buying your product. Well, that's not quite really how it works. In order to make a real genuine income stream, and particularly when you look at the top industry producers, they have systems they run on. What I want to share with you today is this basic system. And when I say $1 million system blueprint, literally, this is a blueprint that's made millions of dollars. There's no question about that. So I'm starting with this one, and then I'm going to also do one where I kind of get into the weeds on some traffic and break down the different elements of traffic and the types of traffic that you would go for, and just a lot of those things. So this is going to be a series of things. So if you're doing anything online, I recommend that you kind of get an idea here of what you can do. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be doing a promotion. I've been running a little bit of this. It's a promotion where I'm going to hand out a particular system and some training to go with it, that anybody that really wants to build something online can use it as a track to run on. And I'm going to be giving that as a gift. Anybody who, here's the qualifier, anybody who does a like and a share and a comment on one of my videos will be in a pool, and I will randomly select who's going to be the winner. I'm going to have a bunch of little things I'm going to give out over time and kind of help people along with this whole process. When I first started my work online, I was pretty naive. And 20 years ago, I wrote a book on dominating Google, and I thought I had the world by the tail because I could post anything and get up on the front page of Google. Well, that was then. Things have changed. Algorithms have changed. Systems have changed. It's more sophisticated. And so I'm going to get into this now and kind of go over some steps. This is an overall view of a system, and this is a basic system. You can get a little bit more involved in this depending on what you're promoting. But the system basically, if you use the system as it's designed, fundamentally you can sell virtually anything online. So if you have a business that you're trying to promote, if you're looking for a business to promote, whatever your circumstance, this might be of value to you if you're really trying to get the word out on something and looking for traffic, looking to bring people into your system. So let's go to the next slide and just look at the word traffic here. Traffic is, of course, traffic is key. If you don't have, businesses spend a lot of money, physical businesses, brick and mortar, finding locations where they're going to get a lot of traffic. Traffic is key. But there's another issue. When you're online, traffic is, one, it's got to be very specific because there's millions and millions of people out there online, and you want to attract those people that are going to have an interest in what it is you do. So traffic has to become quite specific. It has to be traffic that you can capture, traffic that once you capture it, once you attract the traffic, you've got something to do with it. That's something that goes beyond the traffic. Traffic is an interesting concept. You hear people talking about traffic and building traffic, and you sometimes hear people talking about traffic and conversions, but you seldom hear anybody talking about traffic, conversions, and the whole system that goes with it and what makes it really function at a high level. You don't hear much about that, and you don't see many examples. Most of the training you see online is training that is certainly interesting. It's training that gives you bits and pieces. It gives you a segment, but there's very little training on how you integrate all the elements of a system and create the traffic and the place where you go with your traffic and what you do with it afterwards and how you promote and build your traffic and all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot to it. And you don't see anything that really integrates all those things. And I've been very blessed and fortunate to be working with something where all those things are integrated, including multiple streams of income, which ultimately, when you get into it, you realize that the guy's making any real money, real income, and building a lifestyle out of it. They have multiple income streams. It's an important part of the equation. So let's go to the next slide and let's look at forms of traffic, sources of traffic. You've got social media, you have email, Bing, Google, a thing called leverage. There's a lot of traffic sources. And one of the dangers is to step out there with an attempt to utilize several at one time prior to really understanding any one of the sources all that well. It's tricky. You have to become, I can't say master, but you've got to become proficient with any one system before you can effectively move on to the next. In order to become efficient, there's a lot of little things you need to learn behind the scenes in terms of once you receive that traffic and where you put it, how you attract, the words you use in attracting the traffic, the keywords, copywriting. There's a lot of things that go with that. They're going to be universal in terms of generating traffic, but not universal in concept, but applied differently depending on whether or not you're on Google or you're on whatever the social media, Bing or whatever the media. You apply them differently. So you get one where you know what you're doing with it, and then you can build on that. And the reason you want ultimately to become good at a number of different sources is because any one can go away. They can change algorithms, and all of a sudden you're in trouble. And that's happened. It absolutely happened to where people have been very successful, rolling along and doing well in one traffic source. All of a sudden something changes, it dries up, and they're stuck. And they got to start over. So part of this from the very beginning, one, you have to have a mindset. You're going to stick with it. You're going to learn all the elements. You're not going to let little obstacles get in your way. And two, you cover your bases so that you really have something that's long term. It's not just a matter. There's these systems out there that all you got to do is build the traffic, and they build the trap. It's all what they call done for you. And so you build the traffic and you bring it in, and then they handle everything from there. The danger in that is that you have a system that ultimately the system itself can go away. If the company doesn't succeed or they change their format, all of a sudden you're out of luck. So it's very important. And the reason I'm stepping through some of these things is to bring to bear the reality that one, there is a system, and two, you have to become, if you're really serious about building something that's sustainable, you have to become proficient yourself at all the different elements of the system and making it work so that you're independent and no one can pull the rug out from under you because they made a change and left you hanging. So the done for you systems, where all you do is bring people into their systems, there's a litany of problems with that. I won't go into all the details, but there's a litany of problems there where all of a sudden a minor change can really leave you hanging and you got nowhere to go and you got to start all over again. That said, let's take a look at this. Now, this is the next concern here. Let's go to this slide here because this really kind of says it a little bit. Let's go to this slide. Capture pages. Before I go too far into the capture page, you'll notice down in the lower corner what I'm calling a central resource where buyers and sellers meet. One of the most popular and most well known is ClickBank. And ClickBank is a service. It's like a broker. And people that have products to sell go to ClickBank. People that want to buy products go there, and they're in the middle making all the arrangements, taking care of details. They have performed a great service. They're one of the most prominent online, although there are others where you can get affiliate products. The beauty of that is whether they're products you can ship or downloadable products, which I think is a big deal, because you don't have to handle shipping. It can be instant gratification for the buyer in downloadable products. Is that a David I see on there? Hey, David, how are you? Good to see your name up on the board. Anyway, downloadable products are great because you don't have to worry about the timing of shipping and whatnot. People get what they want right away. That's a good thing. So ClickBank is a resource where you can get all those kinds of things. But now having that, Now you got a product, if whether it's your own product or however you're going about it. Now you have a product, but you have to have what they call a landing page, capture page, a funnel. There's different names for it, but basically they do the same thing. It's a place where people go and people you direct them, you direct your traffic to that place, and it gives people a reason to leave their email. Now here's the critical part of this, and again, I'm not going to get way into the weeds because this is just an overview, but you have to give them a reason. One of the most I think critical things that you can do in business is not to get in front of people's face and sell, 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 sell. That gets tiresome. But if you're out there giving value, if when people land on what you have and they're willing to give you an email, it's because they're going to get something in exchange. And it's not just fluff. You're going to give them something of value. And the reality is you can give them probably your secret sauce, and not very many people are going to go out and take the time and effort to duplicate it. So you're probably safe giving them some of your best secrets. But give people something good and of substance. When they land on that landing page, they're going to give their email. Give them something that's going to build trust and they're going to look at you as a reliable source for good information. You're not just flapping in the breeze. So the landing page, capture page, whatever you want to call it. Now there are systems for that, by the way. I'll mention one of them. ClickFunnels is one of the best. There are others, but ClickFunnels, you can build a capture page in a matter of minutes. In fact, you can have multiple capture pages, so you can do that function that referred to as split testing, where you can test the wording, and your wording can change by a very small margin, and find that one of them is going to attract attention and the other one no one pays attention to. So split testing and that kind of thing, which by the way is critical in terms of building a business. So a program like ClickFunnels is very good at doing that, but that can be a critical part of the overall system. So when you build your traffic, you've got to bring them into something. That's going to be the giveaway that happens through the landing page, okay? Then let's go to another screen here and see how that works. I'm just getting used to the system. I'm just downloaded it and been working with it, so I'm kind of having some fun. So thanks for being patient with me here. Customer list and a prospect list. These are the two things. Once you get the information of your customers, you want to make sure that you know what you're going to do with it. A prospect list is very important, obviously. That's the list of people who might buy from you. So what does it take for that to happen? You have to, with your prospect list, give out enough information, and again, this is free information, it's substance, that people can get to know you a little bit. They can build trust. People buy from people that they can trust. You can give a personality. Are you the kind of personality and character people want to deal with? And a lot of it can happen in the kind of information you send out. So the prospect list is the place where that happens. Now, once you have a prospect and you have people start to buy, your prospects, of course, become customers. And here's one of the things that people miss, is that they don't realize the value of that customer list. And so they make the sale, they move on, they're looking for more prospects. And certainly, you're always going to be building your list. That's absolutely true. But you can't deny the value of the customer list. That's golden. The customer list is very important. If you take the time to really build a relationship, trust and confidence, you have product knowledge. And by the way, product knowledge is important. If you're trying to sell something that you don't own, that you don't have, or you don't fully understand, or you're not passionate about, people will see right through you. You have to have confidence, and that's from real confidence comes from real knowledge and practical experience. So if you have practical experience and real knowledge of a product, and you can share passionately what that's all about, it makes a big difference. Trust me. I have helped set up more than one multi-million-dollar business and written the sales material for them and the marketing materials. And trust me, you have to be passionate. You have to know the difference, be able to offer, here's the difference, here's the value. People, by the way, and this is important, people don't buy necessarily off price. They buy off of value. Where's the value? What are you bringing to people in value in terms of who you are, what you present? Is it something that people can use? So where's the value? And then the price almost becomes immaterial. And it's not that you get completely crazy with pricing, but pricing doesn't have to be such a big obstacle if you've established value. That's such an important thing. Well, that's what you do in your customer list, is you build that picture of who you are. People have confidence and trust in you, and they see value in what you do. And at that point, you're no longer selling. you're only fulfilling orders because people are going to come to you to buy stuff, and they will buy whatever you have. And I mean, that's a big general statement, but they're likely to buy whatever you have if you've done a good job of presenting value and building confidence. And so that's a really important element in what you do in online marketing. Um, then let's go to this last frame right here, and the autoresponder. I use Aweber. There's MailChimp, and well, there's a bunch of them. The Aweber is the one I'm most comfortable with. I've used both that and MailChimp. There's other ones that people use. Which one you use is not the most critical issue, but it is critical that you use it. So this is part of a fundamental system. This is your communication base. It's through the autoresponder that you set things up. Now, here's where it's tremendous, tremendous time saver. You load that up with information that is critical to help your prospects get to know you and understand the product. You load it up on a time release basis. It's all done. It's a system you need to learn and work with. But over time, while you're sleeping, those messages go out to people, your prospect list, and you're keeping in touch with them, regardless of what you're doing. You're always in touch with the prospect list. Once they go from prospect to customer, that individual now as a customer is getting information that is all pre-programmed in there, including whether it's videos and imagery and whatever it is, whatever value you put into that system, they're getting to know you. And it's happening 24/7 regardless of what you're doing. There's a myth. People get involved and they're attracted to online marketing because they're told that you can do it a few hours a day and you'll be in good shape. They'll also tell you it's free. It's not. They'll tell you that you can learn the system today and be making money tomorrow. That's not true. There's things that you need to understand as a marketer that you're going to take a little time. There's going to be an investment of some kind. You build all these things. All these systems are going to have a cost to them. But trust me, it's a fraction of the cost of what it takes to build a conventional brick and mortar business or virtually any other type of business outside of online, particularly when you get into downloadable products and products that you might even have created, whether affiliate or not. So the autoresponder becomes this place, this storehouse for information that's valuable for the prospect, valuable for the customer, and it works 24/7. And now once you establish yourself, it can continue to market regardless of what you're doing. Now, the other side of it is I don't know anybody that's been all that successful that doesn't apply themselves and work more than just a couple hours a day. Yes, you have time and financial freedom if you establish it correctly. But ongoing, you'll want to scale your business and work on it. And that requires a time, effort, and ongoing investment. Now, it's true, too, that once you have the ball rolling, it's typical 8 to 10% of your gross is usually what you're going to dedicate to your marketing costs. And that's a very normal thing. But when you start to talk about, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, a mentor that I work with who has very little formal education, but a smart guy, is making, and I don't know because he hasn't told me, but I know he's making between $50,000 and $100,000 a month. And he took some time to work with it. He works right now. He's in a period where he's working about 8 hours a week, maintaining that system and doing really well and having a great life. And he'll have spurts where he'll spend, he'll really go at it and work a lot more hours to scale the business. So anyway, there's some variables here, but don't think that you're going to just go on, spend a few hours a day and build a business. If you're going to build a skyscraper, it takes some time to realize if you're doing it an hour a day, it's going to be a long time before anybody sees an actual building. If you're going to be able to build a large business, put some time and effort in it, be serious about it, be passionate about it, and you'd be amazed what you can create. But don't be deceived that all of a sudden overnight you're going to a few clicks of the mouse and buy a magic system and all of a sudden you're rich. So I'm hitting the 20-minute mark now. I'm going to do another one of these videos that will focus on some very specific things about three-tiered traffic and how you go about identifying specific traffic, target marketing, and those kinds of things. So as we go along, you'll learn a lot of these systems. Now, I will also say that I do represent a system, and it's something I'll recommend you take a look at. I'll put a link in there that actually takes you step by step learning all of the elements of the system. And notice I said learning those elements and ultimately mastering them. It's not just giving it to you. Now, the formula is there, but you have to learn the elements of that system and master them in order to really become that really successful entrepreneur and building income streams online. So I've got a system that does take you over the shoulder, step by step, to learn each of the systems, and then more importantly, how they integrate to work one with another. So you have a whole system that works, and that actually, and in this particular system, actually has built-in multiple streams of income. So it's kind of interesting. So anyway, I'll put a link on there for you. It'll probably take a few minutes once I post this to get all that up, but it'll be there. So I look forward to talking to you again soon. This was just a really quick overview of the basic system that you would need. And when I say it's $1 million system blueprint, it's really true, because this blueprint has made millions for those who understand it, who have taken it to the max. So that being said, I will look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Keep in mind, if you do a like, a comment, and a share, your name is going to be in the hopper to receive something very special, and that's worth a fortune if you take advantage of it. So with that, thank you very much. I'll talk to you again soon. God bless.